me read this article quick because this might be.
But them nuggets is fucking up like intestines. Oh my gosh.
What?
Them nuggets, man.
They're alright.
They taste better than McDonald's, but Jesus Christ.
That's basically how I feel about the quarter pounder, man. The quarter pounder tastes real good, but fuck.
I think I've had that maybe like once or twice.
Got a little bit of breaking news. I'm gonna add to the
Breaking
to the shit. Let me.
They're fine for me though. I'm not. They're not ripping through my lower body.
Ew! What the fuck? You? Oh,
What?
that doesn't work. Not you. Him.
No, he ate some nuggets.
Hey.
They're playing bumper cars in his lower intestine, in his fucking
Forget bumper cars.
small intestines.
Why are they playing bumper cars?
Ask him.
He's like,
Ask him.
They're trying to find the winner of the Derby Championship.
Oh, it's coming out.
What's going on, guys? It is episode 18.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's a new episode.
Exactly.
Episode.
It's the week of February 17th.
New podcast, new us every time. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Wesley. How's it popping? You stop doing that.
My name is Goo. No, my name is Hyde.
No, don't listen to him. He's always
no,
been referred to as Goo.
Bleep that out. Bleep out his name.
Exactly. He's always been
I'm
referred
gonna
to
be
as
so
Goo.
upset if you do that.
Goo is profane.
Cheap.
He also goes by Goobert.
That's Nico.
On occasion.
That's Nico's
And
nickname for me.
Duberto.
Can he not go by that name?
That's just excessive.
Can you? Hey, that's kind of suave. Your son has to be Guberto now. Guberto Suave.
No,
His middle name has to be Suave.
any name that ends in erto, that's just extra.
Now what did I say?
They didn't need
Your
to do all
son's
that.
name is going to be named Guberto Suave. Karkashian.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Since the people want to know.
Never mind. We're
what
good. We're good. Keep it going. What we got?
What it is, it's your boy, Sir Boobus Batch. The butteriest biscuit in the batch, aka I climbed Mountain Dew to its peak.
Freaking Clang.
Mountain
Respect.
Pew. Don't you mean Mountain Pew? You mean Mountain Pew.
No, that one's next.
If you haven't seen that video, go watch that. It's up
on our channel.
YouTube.
It's available.
It's there.
There's a lot of porn stars up there.
Look at the pew.
Look at the pew.
On Mountain Dew?
Yeah,
Where does this go?
at the top. No one's ever climbed it before, except for them. Well, they were born up there, but still.
And I'm Nico. Hi.
I missed the first part of that, so.
I don't know what's happening at all.
Yeah.
Just continue. Please.
All
For the
right.
love of God.
For people who don't know. Bitch. What? For people who don't know, this is the Market Podcast. We are Black Market Gaming.
It's okay,
And
I'm not happy about it either.
We sit around this table.
Wow.
Well, 3 of us sit at this table. 1 is over there. And occasionally we have a 5th guest. And we talk about games, anime, memes, all the other cool shit that you can think of.
Mainly
And
games,
For
fuck
about
you.
an hour or 2. Yeah.
This is all truth. No cap.
No cap. Oh, I just thought of that stupid line from the Cypher. It's even more appropriate that you're wearing the shirt from
Yes.
it, too.
It's the greatest.
All right, why don't we start the podcast off?
Oh, real
with,
quick, I forgot. Mr. Behind the Technology.
Oh,
I forgot.
figured you. A little bit late for that one.
Yeah, a little bit late. Sorry, bud.
This is a disaster.
Yo.
Jesus.
We're doing everything all out of order.
So, what you guys been playing recently? Anything interesting?
Damn it.
League of Legends.
Boo.
Hey.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say boobs.
Well.
You been playing those?
Like bongos.
Anyway,
What you been playing, Trey?
other than League, not much. I got a Pokemon home, and I'm, in the process of trading all my Pokemon over.
Yeah, it's a big thing. That came out recently.
And the free trial, you actually can't move any Pokemon over, but they give
Yikes.
you a free one. And I'm like,
Huh?
So you're giving me... So I get to try something that I can't really do anything with.
How does that work?
Thanks. Well, so I wanted to move my Pokemon from my Pokebank over to home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, you have to, and I didn't see an option to like move them. So I'm like, how do I do that? Went online, searched it up, and they were like, oh, you have to do steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. And, this is where the move option was. Went to the move option, and I can't select it. And I'm like, you have to buy the premium to move your Pokemon over.
Oh,
the entire purpose of this.
Are you paying for Pokemon Bank, though, or no?
Yes.
Oh. That doesn't make any sense. That's not what we said. That's not what we read last week.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's a big F.
The move Pokemon option was like grayed out. And wouldn't you know, I'm like, let me try getting the premium. Got the premium, wouldn't you know it, the button lit up.
Yeah, see, that's not supposed to happen. Nintendo sucks. Nintendo doesn't know how to make technology. That's the reality.
I'm
of it.
saying.
But we kind of already knew this.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
They can occasionally make good stuff like the Nintendo Switch, which is pretty damn good console.
Nintendo Swelch.
And then there's the Lite, and they made another one. So, woohoo! It's probably one of the best designed consoles they've ever made. In reality,
Yeah.
when I think about it. But why? I think the NES and the SNES are pretty well designed as well.
GameCube.
For back in the day, GameCube was pretty well designed.
GameCube was
some
very-
bad
box.
decisions with oh, we're gonna go discs, but we're gonna use the small discs and all that kind of stuff. But it was still well designed.
I mean, it was a box.
I'm leaving out the N64 because of the controller design, which was brave and novel. I'll give them that.
They didn't utilize the controller effectively because the D-pad was used for pretty much nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at that point you basically just needed the GameCube controller, but like it was back then and they haven't made it yet. That's basically what they needed for that console.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you've been doing. What you've been doing, Wes? You just said League, basically.
Yeah, been playing a little League here and there. More watching stuff, but yeah.
That's true. It's true.
Bussy doesn't like video games. What about you, Knee Couch?
Straight knee couch.
I meant to say this on last week's podcast, but I forgot. I had started playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey again, 14 months after it had come out. Finally got back into it. I originally put 20 hours into it. And by last week's podcast, I'd put no more than 10 hours into it. But I've been grinding all this past week. I've put like almost 50 hours into it in just the past week.
Bajams.
Which is crazy.
It's more than the
And
average.
so I'm working through that game, and I'm definitely more than halfway done the main game. But after that, there's 2 whole DLCs that goes through. So I'm gonna be playing that game.
And you said they're like episodically released. Too.
Yeah, I mean
So-
it's all out by now, but at least I think it is. But
I think it is. Yeah.
yeah, I've put a total of almost, I think 70, maybe somewhere around 65 hours total. And I'm gonna be putting in decently well over 100 hours by the time I'm done with all of it.
Yeah. For those who don't remember, the Odyssey and Origins, the newer games in the series, are more like an action RPG than they are traditional Assassin's Creed games. They're a little bit different.
Yeah, they're quite different.
It's though some people don't like it, it has, I think, found wider appeal that way.
Yeah, and that's what I was reading earlier too. Like the hardcore fans, like they don't like this stuff because it's nothing like the original Assassin's Creed games. But because I didn't really play those older games, the first game I played was Unity. Going from that to then Origins and Odyssey, like I enjoyed these games very much. So yeah, I can see why the more hardcore fans and older fans don't like the way the game is designed now, and they want to go back to the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it back. Bring him back. Bring him back.
And then I've just been doing some
Homework.
different things. I've been doing some homework. On top of that, I've been playing a little bit of League, and then I felt the urge the other day to play some Halo Reach, so I'm playing through Halo Reach on Legendary by myself.
There's a Halo.
So I've been doing that,
Yeah.
and now I'm on the last mission. So
I'm proud of you, son.
which is it's funny because a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, maybe even 5, I started playing Halo Reach on Legendary just on my 360 or on my Xbox One through backwards compatibility, and I had gotten to the last mission and I didn't finish it, so I didn't get the last achievement. But it's like now I'm going through it on MCC and doing it again.
We should know your pull-out game strong.
Cheap. Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm almost done that, and then I'll see what to do from there.
Homework.
More homework.
More homework.
Forget.
Too much homework.
Too much homework.
Too little.
You look like you just saw the war.
I think he did.
I think I did.
This nigga
Honestly.
saw the history of the world.
And then what you call it? Housekeeping. Not really anything. There's I'm gonna start working on that Death Stranding podcast soon. I promise you.
Yeah.
All right, I have to do it. I gotta do it. Nico gave me the footage the other day. I
Yes.
have all the stuff on my computer. I just gotta boot up some video editing software and get it done. You know.
Nico gave me the foot.
Yep.
But you know, homework, as I said. All right, boys. Let's jump into the real shit. Let's go window shopping.
Ooh.
Forget. Ooh.
Window
All right,
shopping.
number 1 today. Nintendo is blacklisting a Portuguese games website responsible for some of the Pokemon Sword and Shield leaked photos. This is coming from Andy Robinson over at Video Games Chronicle. So let me read. There's a couple statements here from each place. The statement from Nintendo reads: in early November, Nintendo identified a number of photographs taken from gameplay that revealed multiple new and unannounced Pokemon from Pokemon Sword and Shield. These photographs have been there. What did I just say?
You said protographs.
Yeah. These photographs
That's the title of the
had
movie.
been what?
It's the title of a movie or something.
Sure.
Game.
Has to be.
Photographs.
All right.
Jeez. These
This
photographs
doesn't make it
have been posted online, and Nintendo, together with the Pokemon Company, quickly identified the person responsible for these leaks and took immediate action. These Pokemon were leaked by a reviewer for a Portuguese website, F Nintendo, or it's like Fintendo. It's like F Nintendo with no space.
I thought you were.
They said.
I thought you were censoring. Fucking
No, it's
Nintendo.
actually what it's called. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, well, that's a weird name to have.
I was like, oh.
But it's also from Portugal, so. Who had received an early copy of the game for review purposes. Both he and F Nintendo failed to handle confidential material, resulting in a clear breach of the confidentiality agreement between Nintendo and the media outlet. As a result, Nintendo will no longer work with them. Nintendo will always protect its intellectual property and brands. Leaks hurt not just Nintendo, but the thousands of employees who work hard to bring games to market, and the millions of fans around the world who look forward to news and surprises. There's like one more part there, but that's all right. So that's the good stuff from it. And then the website replied or had a statement of their own about the matter after this came out. Oh, I don't know why I'm opening this. I already have it open. So this is what an email, I think, from the website said. To our readers, at the beginning of November, a series of off-screen photographs leaked multiple new and unannounced Pokemon from Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. We want to take this opportunity to openly admit to our readers that F Nintendo was responsible for leaking some of these photos. Nintendo offered us a copy of the game for review purposes, with clear embargo guidelines to which we agreed. This copy was then sent to one of our reviewers who leaked the information. Following the investigation, F Nintendo severed its relationship with this reviewer. Our relationship with Nintendo Portugal dates back 11 years, but our part in this leak is a clear breach of the confidentiality agreement between us, and as a result, a total breach of trust with Nintendo. We recognize it is impermissible to break embargo guidelines, and we failed to handle the review materials with sufficient care. We fully respect Nintendo's decision but between our companies as a result of this breach of trust, and accept that we will no longer receive products from Nintendo, nor will we be invited to attend their events. And then they say they apologize.
So in other words, you will not be Nintendo will not be coming to your birthday party, nor will you be attending theirs.
Yes. So yeah, basically, the short version of that is this Portuguese website had a review copy. They gave it to a reviewer that they have on their team. Reviewer leaked the photos of the Pokemon, and then they sever, relations with that reviewer. But obviously, it's too late. The damage is already done. Nintendo will no longer work with this website.
That nigga is beyond fired.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a big F.
Lesson is, do not leak shit.
Yeah. Especially stuff like that. Like, you have a review copy, and then you leak things out. It's like, all right, so which one of y'all did it?
Exactly. What were you doing?
It's not. Yeah,
Forget leaking that.
You gotta calm down. But yeah, don't leak things. Don't leak things. All right. And as Jason Schreier says here, that reads like a statement that was agreed to publish to avoid legal action. That last one.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure it is. So, because confidentiality agreements are, you don't want to do that. There's also there's one more thing that I want to mention here. There was I think we might have mentioned this in the podcast. In December 2019, Nintendo was given permission to subpoena the identities of Discord and 4chan users allegedly behind the leaks, leaving the two platforms no choice but to hand over personal details of the individuals in question. We don't know who those people are, but they do. Whoa! And because remember, this is only part of the leaks. This website, not the whole thing. Oh. Okay.
So basically, they're forced to be snitches.
Snitch on their own, basically. They're snitching on what they did, basically, because they have to, legally. Yep. So yeah, that's that.
Don't leak, nigga. I mean, there'll be some things where I'm like, I don't hate that you leaked this.
Exactly.
But there are other things where I'm just like, cool, but
Come on, bro.
Oh no, they're
kind of wanted to be surprised.
Yeah, like I don't hate on most leaks, but I'm not gonna have sympathy for people who get in trouble for leaking things. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's still against it, against the rules, against the law, against your agreement, whatever it may be. All right, that's that.
Especially if you're the one who made it and you're just like, oh, I'm about to surprise them with this. Ha!
Cheat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
got to be so frustrating,
Yeah.
for sure.
Especially, I'd definitely want to find the nigga who did it. Definitely put him in the dirt.
If you like worked at the Pokemon company and they revealed a Pokemon you've been working on or something, and you'd be like,
Been like, I wanted to do it.
yeah.
I'd whine. But anyway,
All right, enough of this.
Yep.
What's in the next window?
Cheap for getting the next
Cheap.
window. I like that.
how many windows we got? Nigga?
Exactly.
I'll tell you. We got 5, 6. Yep, 6.
7 now because I added something
7.
at the end.
We have 7 windows.
We really
seven stores for us to check out.
we really got a good deal on this lot.
Sure, they're not our stores.
Ubisoft
We just imported them.
Ubisoft is releasing a new VR experience in the form of a virtual reality escape room based on the Prince of Persia franchise.
Ah.
So this is coming from Dean Takahashi over at VentureBeat. The game is called Prince of Persia: The Dagger of Time, and it is set during, as you might expect, the Sands of Time era of the world of the Prince of Persia world, which debuted in the games in 2003 and got a movie adaptation in 2010,
Yes.
as we know. And it is being developed by Ubisoft.
Dusseldorf.
I think it's Dusseldorf. I think that's what the
Dusseldorf.
I think so.
the
Dusseldorf
accenting
sounds better.
means, and will debut this spring in over 300 locations worldwide. So you'll be able to go and experience this in person. You don't have to do this at home, because it's an escape room. You do it with at least 2 people, up to 4 people, and it'll be targeting all ages, so it'll be available for everybody to enjoy. Perfect.
So this isn't something you can do at home.
I don't think so.
Unfortunate. I thought it was originally.
Well, I guess kind of the part of it is because there needs to be some sort of secrecy with the escape rooms. But I think this is the 3rd escape room that Ubisoft has done. Actually, they've done a couple others before. One I can't remember what they're for. It's not really relevant. But yeah, that sounds cool.
Okay, that'd be nice.
Wonder if it'll be one around here somewhere.
So if you're interested
Probably
in
not.
escape rooms
Probably
and
not.
you're interested in VR, then check it out. Figure out if
Indeed.
there's a location going to be near you, and you can go do it with friends or family, or alone.
All right.
Wow.
We got something a little bit Gee, I mean, you could go meet with some strangers and have fun.
Okay, let's not. I don't know about promoting doing things with strangers.
Listen, this is the black market.
I do.
That's facts. Never mind.
Huh? What'd you say?
I do things with strangers all the time.
Cheap.
Whether they want to or not.
Hey,
I got something
You said it, not me.
spicy for you next.
window.
So this is some big news from the week. Jeff Keighley, you know Jeff Keighley,
Jeff.
has announced that he's skipping E3 for the first time in 25 years.
Whoa.
And will therefore not be hosting the E3 Coliseum, which is a thing that consisted of like panel interviews and presentations that he hosted since 2017, and I think it had been done in the past too. So there's a couple. So I'll read. What I'll do is I'll read a couple statements from him, and then the ESA's response, and we can see what we think. So his statement on Twitter read, "For the past 25 years, I have attended every electronic entertainment expo. Covering, hosting, and sharing E3 has been a highlight of my year, not to mention a defining part of my career. I debated what to say about E3 2020. While I want to support the developers who will showcase their work, I also need to be open and honest with you, the fans, about precisely what to expect from me. I have made the difficult decision to decline to produce E3 Coliseum. For the first time in 25 years, I will not be participating in E3. And then in a separate statement to GamesIndustry.biz, he said, I think E3 needs to be more digital, global, and inclusive in its approach to connecting with gamers and celebrating the industry. It's not really about who buys a booth on the show floor. Anyone who participated in the digital event, the Game Festival on Steam around the Game Awards, probably has a pretty good sense of my vision for how we bring the world together around games. And I think he said it somewhere else too. He's not happy with the direction that E3 is going in as an event. As we've mentioned before, they're starting to kind of do this. They're trying to transition it to more of like a fan thing where we bring these people in, and they're going to have like influencers and celebrities there doing some stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't think that's how it should be done.
Yeah, he's not interested in turning into a celebrity.
So
thing.
he decided to not do it this year. And the ESA's response is expected. They said Jeff has been and it continues to be a strong industry advocate and champion. He played a critical role in developing E3 Coliseum, a platform reintroduced 3 years ago that brought fans together for important conversations with industry luminaries and leaders in celebration of video games. We appreciate his contributions and hope to have future collaborations. In 2020, we look forward to presenting a reimagined E3 that will connect and delight fans worldwide. So that's just them being like, he's a good guy. He did good things for us. We're still doing E3 2020, and it's going to be good. That's what that says.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So, yeah. Boy's not going. He don't like how the event's going.
Boy's not going.
We already know that these kinds of things are happening. Sony's not going to E3 for the second year in a row. EA's not going to E3 for, I think, the fourth year in a row. Though they still have EA Play. I think that's it. I heard that Nintendo is going, but they're doing something a little bit different this time. I didn't really read into that because it was a bit muddy. And then we know Microsoft's going to be there. They've already been like, yeah, we're going to E3 because especially if Sony's not going to be there, like, yeah, we're going to take the stage and do what we can because we're by ourselves.
Yeah,
ourselves. They did it last year too.
Do what you do, bro.
So yeah, the E3 is changing, at least on the inside, and the industry is reacting to it in kind. On top of that, though, on the same day that this happened, the E3 exhibitor list... Exhibitor.
Yeah.
I know how to say that, but I said it wrong anyway. Leaked on its own website, drawing more unneeded concern about the EA's future handling of E3, especially after last year's security breach that happened in a similar fashion.
Not the EA.
Oops.
No, E3. ESA. Not EA.
I heard EA.
I mean, there is an E and an A in there.
So I'm right.
Sure.
Yeah, because if you guys remember, they had a whole thing where they had like a list of like people who were attending E3, like media people, as well as like emails and addresses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was just sitting on their website for somebody to find in the right place.
Bro.
Oh yeah.
And a journalist found it. It was like, yo, this is right here. And they were like, oops. And they took it down. And now this just happened. They leaked their own information now on their website. So they're...
What's going on? Who's
I don't know
doing
what
that?
the ESA is doing over there.
Oh boy.
Also, side note, the ESA is also lobbying against right to repair legislation, which helps consumers. Which frustrates the hell out of me. Because you're supposed to be on our side.
Y'all are bugging.
I mean, they represent the companies, but it's like now you're representing the companies in a fight against their own consumers. That's weird. That's not what that's supposed to be for. So yeah,
Yeah, y'all are definitely bugging.
E3's changing. We'll see how it goes.
That's a word.
I'm still
window.
excited. I'm still excited for E3 this year though, because
Facts.
Of course.
all the new new consoles are going to get revealed and everything. We assume Sony will have something going on around there, even if they don't go. Yeah, it's going to be big.
Sure. Next window.
We have some more information about what Remedy Games is currently up to. It was revealed during a recent financial statement. So they currently have 4 projects in the works. There's 2 paid expansions to Control coming out this year. So that's interesting.
I need to finish that game.
And that's good to see because the game didn't seemingly sell too well. So the fact they're still working and making expansions for it is good. And this post also mentions that they do sales are steady. They're steadily selling. It's going. It's selling copies.
That's good.
Crossfire X single player component, which we heard about at E3 last year. Remember, they were bringing Crossfire X to the Xbox One, which is a popular CS:GO like game over in Korea, I believe. And Remedy is making a single player component for it. The developer of Crossfire X is, I believe, Smilegate, if I recall correctly. That's coming this year as well. And then on top of that, there's an unannounced project set to enter pre-production soon. So more things going on there.
Okay.
And then finally, there's Vanguard, a new live service / multiplayer game that we don't know much about yet.
Vanguard.
So that's interesting. There's a lot of those games out there right now, so we'll see how that pans out for them. But I do like Remedy, so I'm curious to see. They can probably pull a good story off in that, for sure. Because a lot of some of the games, like The Division, the story's like
Yeah.
it's like
All those
Anthem. The story's
shooter RPGs.
it's not even there really.
Yeah.
Oops.
Though maybe that'll change soon, as we talked about last week.
Hopefully.
So we have some more information here I pulled up. Hold on. So here says the unannounced third project is proceeding well with a team of 20 people right now because it's in pre-production. Vanguard, the fourth project, has a team of 15 people currently. The objective of Vanguard is to create a quote, long-lasting service based multiplayer game combined with selected Remedy features. We now have an internally playable first development version of the game. Both projects have focused on concepting, market research, designing, building the technical foundation, prototyping, iterating, and assessing the biggest risks to have the design and related production plans clear. Both projects are proceeding to pre-production. So, remember, this is for their investors, so this is why this is written like this. The number of employees at Remedy has reached 250 people, so that's a nice chunk right there. And they plan to operate on a multi-project model moving forward. So, yeah, seems like things are going pretty well at Remedy Games. And I have one more thing to add, a little tidbit that I found while I was researching this up. Apparently, your boy Gary Whitta, writer of Rogue One, and who recently
Gary Whitta what?
Shut the fuck up.
who recently said he would like to write a Star Fox movie, remember?
Yeah.
Based on that live action picture that we saw. He says he would also be interested in writing a Control movie.
All right. Well,
That one's more feasible, but
All right. Well, he needs to stop saying, "Oh, I'd be interested in doing this and this." I need to hear something.
I mean, it's what he's interested
That's
in.
fine.
Hey, let
It's
me
based
know.
on this is from actually late last month, but yes, he said this is a tweet from him. We'll be stuck on the couch nursing this ankle for a while, so ask me anything. Someone asked him, what video game do you think would make the best movie, and would you write it? And he said Control and yes. So
Yeah, you need to get something moving, man.
I would love to see that happen.
hey, focus on your leg, bruh.
Yeah, although that might be better now because this is a month ago, but yeah.
Now, what I'm saying is, before
no
you do
excuse.
Control, what does that Star Fox do?
Exactly. What does the fox say?
Again,
No.
he's just a writer. This is all on the companies to want to pursue this sort of avenue. One being Nintendo, the other being Remedy. And then he's also worked on other things, by the way. He's worked on Prey. He's done the Walking Dead stuff. He's also written comics and things like that. So you guys can go check him out. He's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool dude. And then Rogue One is just a great movie. On top of that. All right, number 5. Following the full release of the service last week, all Activision Blizzard games have been removed from GeForce Now.
Oh, yikes.
This is coming from Vicky Blake over at Eurogamer. So apparently they weren't supposed to be there in the first place.
Oops.
And I'll read this here because it's a good description of it. In a comment, this is from the article, in a comment to Bloomberg, a NVIDIA representative explained that while Activision had permitted its games to be part of the beta test, the two companies had not discussed licensing terms beyond that beta. Consequently, NVIDIA was forced to remove the titles, adding, quote, per their request, please be advised Activision Blizzard games will be removed from the service. And then also, Activision Blizzard has been a fantastic partner during the GeForce Now beta, which we took to include the free trial period for our founders membership, explained a statement from NVIDIA. Recognizing the misunderstanding, we removed their games from the service with hope that we can work with them to re-enable these and more in the future.
Oh, cheap. So basically they were just like, yeah, so we're going to release NVIDIA now. And then like it was like, wait, your game's still there.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't want...
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. That's what happened.
All right.
So, this sucks because that means that anything on Battle.net and anything that's Activision, which is a fair amount of games. That means you can't play Overwatch on there for sure. You can't play anything like WoW or anything like that. Because remember, GeForce Now is also available like on your phone. You can play through that. You could have played WoW on your phone.
Exactly.
For example. Or Overwatch even. It's a little bit competitive. You might not want to do that for latency purposes. But the interesting I have to this is it's weird that they have to license them because it's not a platform.
Yeah.
If you think about it, this is what bugged me when I first read this. I was like, because originally we didn't know that it was an accident. We thought that they just removed them because they're being greedy, but it seems a little bit different than that. Because think about it, what GeForce Now is basically NVIDIA has a server somewhere in the world. There's multiple of them, of course. They have servers and they have computers.
You're just playing through
basically
it.
on the server. Yeah, on the server, there's there's powerful graphics cards in there. There are probably like quadro graphics cards, and multiple people will connect to each server and play their games through that server on their own instance, their own virtual machine, which you literally is there's a like a window when you boot up GeForce Now. There's a launcher that you can click games to launch from there. But then you can also open Steam separately and install games that aren't technically supported if they work.
Yeah.
At least that's how it was when I did it. And so it's like it's weird to say that okay, we're offering a way for you to play a game on my computer, but they're not allowing that.
Yeah.
Like it's weird that it has to be licensed. That I'm not into
like
law. I can't figure that out. But
it's like having
it
to
seems strange.
license a game out to someone that just wants to play a game on their PC.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But I'm not the legal expert over there at NVIDIA or at Activision Blizzard, so I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Whatever.
I would hope to see that they come back. I wouldn't be surprised if Activision Blizzard decided to launch its own service because they have a store, they have a good chunk of games. They could do it, but I would like to see them at least be available on GeForce Now, at least in the meantime.
They could definitely do it, just not now. Because
that's a good point.
That'd be a lot of effort wasted at this moment. I feel like people wouldn't go for it.
Blizzard is not in the best of mindsets in people's heads right now.
Y'all were the best, and now y'all wouldn't say the worst, but not that great in people's
Not looking
eyes.
too hot.
I'd say right now Blizzard has the worst reputation, like in the immediate mindset.
Yeah.
Like when you think about which company is doing stupid things right now? Blizzard is like number one.
Blizzard-
like EA is bad, but they haven't done something in a while. They're kind of like down on the intention. You're not really paying attention to them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you
So-
kind of expect bad things from EA.
Yeah.
Well, most people do.
They've given us reason to, at least.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Next
More NVIDIA news. This is a little quick thing. NVIDIA has announced a special edition of the GeForce RTX 2080 Ti, which is a graphics card, by the way, themed after Cyberpunk 2077. Nico, can you pull up the picture of this?
Oh, it
Yes.
looks real nice.
They will be for giveaways and charity auctions only. There are only 77 of them being made and
Of
given away.
course.
Only 77. Jeez.
It looks sick.
Holy carpet Christ.
People have jokingly called this the 2077 Ti. I think NVIDIA even said it themselves.
You guys are stupid.
If you want more information on how to enter the giveaways, you can go to NVIDIA's website. You should be able to find it there. And the giveaway ends on February 28th. I've already entered in all 3 places that I can. Basically, it's like they posted a post on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook, you like the post and you comment about you and somebody who would like to receive the card, and then you put hashtag RTX on. Twitter, you retweet the tweet, and then you reply by tagging somebody who also want to get the card. Both of you will win the card. Same goes with the Facebook, and then Instagram is same thing as Twitter, except you like it instead of retweeting it.
Yeah.
And then they said they're going to be doing more posts leading up to the end date that you can also enter in through. So
Sick.
we'll see how this goes. I was reading in comments that apparently they've done something like this in the past, and then they canceled it because it got ruined by a bunch of bots and spammers and stuff like that.
Oops.
Hopefully that doesn't happen this time. I don't really like social media giveaways. I much prefer like Gleam.io and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I know that has flaws too, so it's nothing's perfect. But this thing looks cool.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
I entered not only because it looks cool. It doesn't really fit in my build actually at all. Like this, but it's a 2080 Ti. That thing is a beast. I will kill to get one of those for free. For
Nerd.
Sure.
Kill what?
Yeah, you'll be a nerd too if you have one of these. You would love this. This thing.
Yeah, you can
Basically,
play your
this-
Super
this is-
Monkey Ball at max settings.
This is basically the best graphics card on the market right now.
Yeah.
Minus the Titan RTX, which no one even talks about.
He said I could play Super Monkey Ball at max settings.
I mean, you can.
That's all
What's
I
the
need.
problem?
You can play a league at 1,000 FPS.
I mean,
you probably
Who
could.
gives a shit about?
Is that he only
Super
cares about
Monkey
Super
Ball.
Monkey Ball, apparently. So
Oh boy. Yeah. So check that out. You have
Super goddamn.
by the
Monkey
time
Ball.
you guys hear this podcast, you have about a week to enter.
Rip your nuts off.
And finally, this news broke before the podcast started, so I have it in a article form. It appears that an Overwatch and Diablo animated series are in development.
Oh, I saw this last night.
I did see that.
So,
I don't care.
following the success of series like Castlevania, it would seem that many video game publishers are looking for new ways to leverage their catalog of IP in the realm of streaming TV shows, and Blizzard appears to be next in line. That's how this article starts.
Good old Castlevania.
This is by Damien McFerrin, by the way.
McFierce.
Says thanks to a LinkedIn profile of Nick Van Dyke, a co-president of Activision Blizzard Studios, we can expect to see shows based on both Overwatch and Diablo in the not-too-distant future. As part of his profile, Van Dyke describes one of his roles as ellipses executive producer of Diablo, a TV adaptation of Blizzard Entertainment's IP, rendered in anime style. The show is currently in pre-production for distribution worldwide through Netflix.
Yo, Netflix is doing it.
They're killing it.
They're trying. I wouldn't say that, but sure.
It's a well,
So
they're doing something.
They're doing stuff, and I don't know how they're doing it.
So I'm gonna say this.
With what money?
Exactly. They literally said at the top of the year that they had 24 productions in production this year. That's 2 productions a month, which is ridiculous.
That is crazy. This isn't a confirmed project at the time of writing, but with Diablo 4 on the way, it would make for ideal timing. Elsewhere on his profile, Van Dyke says that he has developed and sold an animated series based on Blizzard's Overwatch franchise, but doesn't mention a distributor for that project, which suggests it isn't as well developed as the Diablo series. So yeah, that's possible. I know Blizzard's not in the best mindset right now, but I know that at the same time, fans of these series would love this. Overwatch Overwatch deserves some sort of other medium just because of how good the animations are and how good the story is.
I just care about I don't give a shit about Diablo.
But a series is a lot TV series is the way that seems to be working for video game franchises.
Yeah, and it's a lot more
being one.
It's a lot more accessible too, despite Blizzard's
fuck up nature
shortcomings currently. It's more accessible to most people that are just like, I have Netflix. It's on Netflix. I like Overwatch, so I check it out.
And I know no one here cares about Diablo, but that's a pretty big.
As opposed to like a game or DLC or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not gonna buy that.
Yeah, for the story aspect of it, for sure, and then you can watch it at your own pace because it's a TV show. The exception to the TV show rule being sound like the movie that just came out recently and has a pretty good reception. Yes, Nico?
I realized we cut off Trey a few minutes ago. Were you going to say something, or does it not matter anymore?
It was related to this, but I just decided to keep reading the
I said it a bit later. Thank you, Nico.
Okay.
You're so kind.
You're welcome. It took us 18 episodes to check in on you.
Facts.
To check in. So let's hope this turns into good things. But again, this isn't confirmed. This is just obviously something's happening. This is on his LinkedIn profile, unless he's lying, which I doubt he is. Something's going on, at least for Diablo.
Yes.
All right.
Anything to watch in today's trailer world?
Yeah, we'll move on to trailers. So we got two things. So this is going to be a fun one. So PlayStation was a very strange company back in the beginning of the PS3 generation.
Indeed.
They did some funny things. They did some weird things. They tried to pass off the boomerang controller as the PlayStation 3 controller. And then when people were like, that looks terrible, like to use, they were just like, oh, that was just a prototype. We never meant to actually release that controller. It's like, no, I think you did. And on top, that's why the DualShock 3 is literally just the 6-axis controller was literally just a wireless version of the DualShock 2.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they did some weird commercials and stuff. So now it appears PlayStation's being weird again because they dropped this commercial this last week. It's just called "Feel the Power of PlayStation." It's somewhat related to Valentine's Day, but not really. And I don't know if this means anything or if this is just them spending production money for no reason. So let's watch this.
Coming out.
It's probably going to be the second one, if I'm honest with you.
I saw this already, and it's okay.
Figures.
1, 2, 3.
Say go ahead. You. Oh, jeez.
Bored.
Cheap. Look at crying.
All that moistness.
I was just thinking now, where the hell do they shoot this?
Don't worry about none of that.
Probably in Russia.
That's true, actually. It's a fair point.
Yeah, they're spending all that money going all the way to Russia to do this. They look like Luke Bennett.
How much you want to bet it's the baby from the PS3 commercial?
Puppy monkey baby.
No,
Stop.
No.
Puppy monkey baby.
Stop.
No.
They're infiltrating Sony Entertainment.
They're breaking into Microsoft to find out where Scalebound is being kept.
Cheap.
They're breaking into Nintendo.
So cheap.
They're breaking into Nintendo to find the Star Fox.
To find the good Star Fox game they've been keeping. Or the next Smash character.
Sony? Sony.
Nigga.
Sony?
Forget Sony?
Fuck.
This is how your PS4 is powered, ladies and gentlemen.
Human souls.
This is why there's no power brick.
Nick, bro.
Wow.
Are you serious?
That's all this is.
What? Why?
That was the commercial.
Why?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you're.
That's Sony.
That's the company you're giving your money to. They're harvesting hearts from human beings and using them to power your PS4.
Now, all right, let's think of it this way. What if what if all those hearts had the coronavirus?
Well,
They're saving them. Like North Korea.
By taking them out of their bodies and using them to funnel PlayStation 4s.
Better than what North Korea is doing.
I guess I can't argue with that.
I gotta ask. We have to decipher this.
Why?
Is it the hearts powering the consoles or the consoles powering the hearts?
It's a good question, quite frankly.
Or is it both? Are they keeping each other alive?
Is the PlayStation the brain and the heart is the heart? Because you know how
So I agree with
kind of keep themselves
I agree
going.
with the second part of that. The heart's definitely a heart.
but you have to think about it, because like, what is the heart? So if the PS4 is powering the heart, why? What is the heart doing to be powered?
What's the point of the heart if it's disconnected from a body?
Yes.
Maybe it's
Why does it have the
maybe,
sacred symbols
all right, follow
etched
me on
into it?
this. Follow me on this, right? So the PS4 is powering the heart. They're gonna take the heart and then just bring niggas back to life. Michael Jackson's gonna come back to life, and you're gonna see the green triangle in his eye.
No, I'm not
What?
down with that.
No, that's exactly what's
That's
happening.
not
I
what's
deciphered the code.
I think
Sony, hire me.
This is how the PS5 is gonna work, guys. This is the crazy feature they haven't told us about yet. You're gonna hook it up, stab some shit into your veins, and you're gonna liquid cool your PS5.
That's how you get a
with
perfect
your blood.
That's how you get a perfect connection.
You get liquid cooling.
Oh God!
Gee, man.
They're gonna soul siphon the shit out of it. And why was it PS4?
Could you imagine if this is just their way of
Generation's
like?
ending.
This is absolutely not what it is. But could you imagine that this is their way of teasing the fact that they got some nerve gear level shit coming next generation?
That'd be retarded.
Bro,
That would be
first
stupid.
off, I'd be like, how do you have nerve gear this damn early?
Nah.
Nigga, I don't even think the government has
They-
nerve gear.
Sony sold their soul to Satan or something. That's what's happening.
Hey, as long as I ain't gotta do it.
That's where the souls went.
Exactly. They're committing human hearts.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Well,
that
I found
one.
the plot of Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, that's what I thought it was.
Second thing on the list today, second and final for the trailers.
I knew it as soon as I saw Winnie the Pooh.
So there's a new
Winnie the Pooh,
co-op.
you mean?
There's a new co-op RPG shooter called Outriders that is coming out this holiday for next generation.
Sidebar real quick. You know how like back then there were like a shit ton of games that had the word like steel in it, or metal, I should say?
Yeah.
I feel like out and then some, like the prefix out, or I guess like the word out is the new metal.
Yeah.
You have well, Outriders, Outlast. Oh, I completely forgot 3 other ones that I had.
F.
Ah,
I know what you're talking about though. It does feel pretty common.
Out games.
That's literally what I was gonna search up, dude. Out games.
Forget out games.
there's more of them.
The out games are canceled.
Gee.
Are you serious?
It's
Out
some
sports.
sport thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
Out games. Give me out games.
There is a way to search that on Google to actually get what you're looking for, but it's I don't know. I don't remember how to do it.
Video
What, really?
game.
Yeah, like
Out.
if you structure
Oh.
how you type that in.
Outstriders, Outer Worlds, Outlast,
Outer Worlds, that was one of them.
Outer
Yeah.
Wilds,
Yup,
Yeah.
Outer Wilds.
Outward.
Outward.
Don't know what that is.
I don't remember Outward, but
That's a
Outside.
game from 2019. What is this game? It's an online game. Looks like
Oh,
it's a RPG. Maybe an MMO.
it's like Red Dead except with Indians. Wow.
Okay, not at all. All right, next trailer.
yeah. So that's what this is. And you guys want to watch it first? You want me to drop you some details first?
watch
Sidebar.
it.
You looked at that cookie 11 times.
All right, let's watch this trailer.
1, 2, 3. Not really.
So they're doing that thing where they did that thing where in the beginning where they show the short trailer and then they show the long one.
From one nightmare into another,
We are woke.
not on our dying earth. but somewhere much worse.
Good guy's a dead one. A good guy's the one that brings the fire. Good guy's a dead one. A good guy's the one that.
We came to Enoch as our last chance, a chance at a new home. But what we found didn't save humanity. It consumed it. We awoke changed. The anomaly unleashed within us, burning with power. Impossible power. Enoch robs us of our humanity, yet gives us so much more.
That was a cool gun.
Each step taking us further from what we were and closer to what we must become.
This game look crazy, man. What is going on?
I know.
With the saints and the blood and the red and the river and the saints and the blood and the river and the saints and the toes.
Whatever the hell you just said.
So yeah, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that?
Don't worry about it.
This is a game developed by People Can Fly and published by Square Enix. People Can Fly they developed Gears of War Judgment, and they also made Fortnite's Save the World mode. They're owned by Epic Games now, and they've also co-developed on games like Bulletstorm and the Gears of War franchise, the other Gears of War games.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so there's a lot of Gears and Bulletstorm vibes in this because that's what they've done in the past.
Yeah.
So there's already gameplay out there for this game. You can go check it out. There's a lot of people who've played it. I was watching a video with Alana Pierce, Andy Cortez, and Andrea Renee were all playing it in the same. They had like an event. People went to go play it and stuff like that. So you can already go check this game out. It looks solid. But I've heard a lot of people saying it looks bland and generic. And they don't.
Okay.
They don't.
Okay. I wasn't the only one thinking that.
Yeah.
There's definitely
which I can agree with.
I was thinking it more towards the beginning, the first half of it, and then when stuff started going crazy later, it kind of looked more interesting.
Yeah. I definitely see elements of it that just seem generic or like it's just like a mixture.
A lot of the
few-
characters seem very generic.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think you're gonna have to see more of the game and see like what the story is and what the world looks like and all that stuff to really see what's unique about it and what's interesting.
For me, it was like, it's like, okay, on another planet. Yep. Stripping you from your humanity. Yep. And I kept looking at them, and I'm like,
Oh, you got powered up by an anomaly? It's just out of nowhere? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's the humanity's last stand. Humanity changes.
Oh my God.
It's a pretty generic thing.
I'm getting like, not to say this game looks bad,
yeah,
because it doesn't.
I don't think it does. Yeah, I watched the gameplay. I don't think it does. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what Wesley said. That towards the end it looked more unique, but it's like the enemies reminded me of either Gears of War or Doom.
Yeah.
I'd have to see gameplay.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll look any different from like say
You wanna
Gears of
pull it
War
up?
or Bulletstorm.
Just type in Outriders trailer, and you'll see the gameplay trailers there.
I feel like
from I think it's IGN or GameSpot.
for now, and this is very prone to change.
Go to YouTube itself.
I feel like it's going to be one of those games where it's like, oh yeah, that game was very forgettable, except for this one chapter.
The good thing about this game is it's a launch title. It sounds like so. When in a place where there's not going to be very many new games to play on the new consoles, I mean there is, but like compared to what there is on the PS4 and Xbox One right now.
Yeah.
What does this remind me of?
Gears. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, but
It
like
looks a little more realistic, a little bit less weird.
It's
Right.
it's
Gears
Gears
that I was
mixed.
thinking
It's
of.
Gears mixed with Bulletstorm.
see, I don't remember what Bulletstorm looks like. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Oh, they're also the ones that fully developed the
Oh yeah, that was very.
This
This
is
is
very
very Gears and Bulletstormy.
they're the ones who actually developed the remaster of Bulletstorm. They co-developed the original game, but they developed the remaster.
Yo,
Oh, that's
wow.
cool.
Yeah, there's some cool
I
abilities.
wonder
there's
what
some
that
cool
does.
stuff. And I don't mind cover shooters, by the way. I like cover shooters.
Yeah, cover shooters are cool.
I played through the main story of the Division 1. I generally enjoyed that. The Division 2 is better than that, I've heard. I played Gears of War, all of them except for the 5th one. So
At first, for some reason, I thought like when I saw the vehicles,
actually, I haven't played Judgment.
I
so.
thought it was gonna be a strategy game like an RTS, like a Halo Wars.
Yeah. But no, this is a full blown. I mean, hey, it looks like it runs pretty nicely. And, I mean, these are running on PC. These gameplay demos, but
Yeah.
these are supposed. By the way, if you noticed, that's the first time I think we've actually seen the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 logo at the end of a trailer.
Oh yeah.
So it's coming to next gen consoles as well as current gen and PC. So yeah, and this is coming from Square Enix, as I said. But yeah, the characters don't like the customizable characters look a little yeah. But I guess that's kind of
Wait, there's customizable characters.
that's what this character is. The one that's standing. That's like your character. Yeah, you have to really nail that well. Otherwise, you end up with things like Destiny, where it's like
I'm sorry.
he's
Generally,
just not doing anything.
generally speaking, I don't like customizable character. Like you said, you have to nail them both. Like giving the player options of what to make their character look like. Like Black Desert does that really well, but then again, that's Black freaking Desert. Like you could spend literally days or months customizing one character.
If you want to,
But
for sure.
even like during their actions, because I gripe about this about Destiny all the freaking time, how your character doesn't say anything. Mm-hmm. And I hate that.
And now it occasionally says things.
If I'm a part of this world and I'm essentially saving it, why am I not saying anything?
Yeah. But at least in Destiny, you have your ghost. In some games, you don't have anything.
Exactly. And the ghost, it's something, but it's not the same as me speaking.
I'm interested to check this game out more. If they have like an open beta or something, I'd love to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to say I would pick it up at launch because it's a launch game and there'll be some new. There won't be much to check out compared to what there is at any other time of the year.
I can't say whether there will or will
Well,
not
I
be.
can't say that, but more so the fact that there won't be as many games on the new consoles at that point as there is right now.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling I'm going to be much more busy playing Halo Infinite and Horizon 2. So, or something along those lines.
That's a big.
By the way, every now and then I just remind myself that Halo Infinite is coming out this year, and I shit my pants because I'm very excited. What is happening here?
What I will say
It's a boss fight, I think.
about games where you have a customizable character and they're the main character, it's when you create a character that's supposed to be like you or whatever, it takes away from the story because it feels like there's a story and then you're just placed into it rather than the actual character being a part of the story.
Yes.
So like in Destiny, it's just like, oh, you're the guardian that's gotta help us, rather than like, cause like in games where you play as a character that's defined and has a personality and stuff, it's more connected to the story and it feels more meaningful.
Yes, because they're given a
Yeah.
character.
This was one of the things I had issues with Far Cry 5 originally, is because like in Far Cry 3 and 4, you play as a character that has a name, has a backstory, has connections to other people in the game. So you're rooting for that character, you're rooting for you, and you feel driven to go through the game and the story, and you'll enjoy it. But if you just, in Far Cry 5, you just play as a deputy that's like a custom character, and it didn't feel connected to the story at all.
Yeah.
You're just there.
And
It's a guy.
I think I heard it
Yeah.
from somewhere that like the customizable character, it's supposed to be whatever you want them to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't account for everything.
Yeah, that
thing is,
doesn't give you much.
There are
Especially-
some games that works really well, and there's a lot where it doesn't.
Especially, I cannot freaking stand how they refer to you in each game. And it's like, of course, like I said, they can't account for every single name out there. But give me a list of names to choose from that you have recorded lines for.
Yeah. That's
So, like, Sonic Forces, which is, like, probably the worst perpetrator of this, they'll be like, whenever they refer to you, they go, oh, how about we ask our new friend? Or, hey, buddy. Hey, pal. I'm like... Or Destiny, it's like, hello, Guardian. It's like, I've been here for, like, years. You think you would have learned my name?
yeah. But
Which, again,
but obviously you can't learn my
Can't
name.
account for
Name doesn't,
everything.
character doesn't have a name.
Just
yeah.
give me a name. If I choose a female, this is my name. If I choose a male, this is my name. Or like I said, give me a list.
Yeah, or split up by the
Like,
by
Mass-
human awoken and
like
exo.
Exactly.
Mass Effect.
Don't be like, hello, person. Hello, player. How are you doing, player? Can you... Hello, player. Would you go on this mission for... It's like, fucking Christ,
You
man.
know what would be really cool is if, and maybe we can get to this point in the future where you can kind of take the voice, you can have somebody voice like the character, like an NPC, and take those voice lines, teach an AI how to use that person's voice, and then use that to make someone say whatever name you enter. Because could you imagine if you made an EXO in
Deepfake
Destiny and you could choose your name and how many times you've been rebooted?
Oh.
That'd be so nice.
You could be like you could just like you could put your name in as something 17 and then they would just pronounce that.
That'd be so nice. But no. Greetings, Guardian. I feel like we're family now.
It's like Jesus. Are we?
Before I was like, oh, I love customizable characters. I can make my character look cool.
Yeah. And there are some games, like I said, where this works really well. I'd say The Outer Worlds is a great example of this. And other certain RPGs do this well. Like in because in The Outer Worlds it works really well because you're the captain of a ship.
Yeah.
So, and you don't care. Your character doesn't talk because you have an interaction where the other character says something, you pick something, and that's your response, and then they respond based on that. So there's a couple things in The Outer Worlds that helps with that. One is you're the captain of a ship, so people call you captain a lot. So you don't have to worry about a name because people just call you captain anyway. And then the other part is that you're also... There's a character in the game that you're supposed to be taking the place of in a way. I'm not going to spoil it. But you have the option in a lot of conversations later on in the game to impersonate that person and say, I am this person. So then they can call you that if you choose to be that person. Or you could say,
That's nice.
no, my name's, and then you say your actual character's name. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, cool. And, they'll go with it. That worked really well, I think. And then I can't remember how it was, but I want to say Skyrim did fine with that too. I think because I don't think they really care about your name as much. I mean, they call you Dragonborn because that's your distinct characteristic in that game.
Okay, that stuff is fine. This is gonna be my last point, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
Or, I'll get back to what you were saying. But in games like Fire Emblem, where I guess specifically Three Houses, where like technically you could customize Byleth, but not really.
Yeah.
But it's like, your name's Byleth. That is what your name is. You're a teacher, so they will call you professor, as you do. Mm-hmm. And you don't speak, but there's context to that. There is a reason in the story why you don't really talk or show that much emotion. So I'm like, fine, cool,
Yeah.
buddy, pal, friend. Stop doing that shit. Stop it. just make me a character that is a part of the world, that has a voice line, a personality. I don't care. I don't want to insert myself into this game. I'm going to personify I'm going to live out these events through this character by getting to know them. I don't give a shit.
I was trying to remember, there's a game that does a similar thing where there's a character that has a name that you can customize a little bit, but it doesn't change they still call you by that name. And I guess Halo Reach is an example of that. You're in Halo Reach, you're playing Noble 6. You have a name, and people call each other, people on Noble Team call each other by their names, but they also call each other by their position. They also say Noble 2, Noble 1, Noble 3, all that stuff. So they just call you Noble 6 or Lieutenant, because you're also a Lieutenant.
Yeah.
So they refer you as that, and you're also new to them during the whole game. You met them recently throughout the game.
Get up the ladder, bitch.
These guys had known each other already pretty well.
Yeah.
So I think that actually works pretty well. It's interesting because in Halo Reach, you're playing Noble 6. Noble 6 has a story. But and your character has a story. Like, your character has done things.
Yeah.
That relate to the story. Like, for example, Noble 6 was a part of the Saber program, which is a secret military operation on Reach, which you later come back and acknowledge because you fly the Saber ship in the one mission in space. And you're chosen to do that because you're already involved. You used to be a part of that program.
I feel like we should have like a separate video that we record on a completely different day.
Yeah.
Where we just talk about good things that certain genres do well, or certain things that we wish
certain genres do better.
Yeah, certain genres could do better. Because we had the Destiny conversation on PS4, and I thought that idea was amazing, and I don't know why only like 3 games in history have ever done it. But anyway, let's. Right, I think we can move on now.
I had something to say, but it's not fully made up, connected in my mind. So
yeah,
it's fine.
sorry.
We can move. No, it's fine.
Let it marinate. We'll get back to it in the conversation, maybe. I'm gonna put one piece of entertainment and tech news in here today. The Castlevania Netflix series is coming back for season 3 on March 5th, and it'll be 10 episodes long.
Yes. Yes.
It's supposed to be very good, so check it out.
It sucks.
Wow.
And I'm going to throw this in there, but I'm not going to go into details because, one, we don't have time, and 2, I didn't compile it. Big in tech news this week, we had the Samsung announced their new phones for the year. They announced the Galaxy S20. They announced the Galaxy S20 Plus, which is the bigger version. And then in a new version...
S20 minus.
Cheap.
Nope.
And a new Galaxy S20 Ultra.
Instinct.
Which, cheap.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. Dude, could you imagine if they styled it?
I mean, it has a 100x zoom.
Could you imagine if they did collab with Dragon Ball and did like an Ultra Instinct S20 Ultra Instinct?
That would be stupid.
That'd be awesome.
Sorry.
So that's new. So
that's your ringtone.
It's seemed pretty good. The phones are gonna have 5G out of the box. The highest end one's gonna have a 108 megapixel camera. They all have the ability to do up to 120 hertz refresh rate on the screen. At varying resolutions. Yeah. And then on top of that, they also announced the Galaxy Z Flip. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The new flip or foldable phone, which is...
it's clamshell style.
Yeah, instead of going bigger to a tablet, it goes smaller to like a flip phone. Like it shrinks in size. Yes. And it's actually folding glass, which we haven't seen yet, I don't think.
Addy posted in the chat.
We always seen
someone
plastic.
The dude that tears down phones.
Yeah, Jerry Rig.
Yeah, Addy posted in the chat yesterday that Samsung lied and it's plastic. So I don't know.
How is he gonna know that?
That's what I said. I don't know. I actually saw it on my recommended, but you can keep going.
Okay. And then of course they also announced the new Galaxy Buds Plus, which is what's right here.
Yeah, I got them.
Wesley bought them.
They're real good. I will say if you have the older buds, which a lot of our friends do actually, only upgrade if you need the better battery life, which it went from 6 hours to 11 hours, which is actually crazy.
That's a pretty good jump.
And you want slightly better sound. I told them earlier that the sound quality, if it was a 1 to 10 scale, the old buds were a 6 and these are an 8, so it's a decent jump in quality, due to the dual drivers instead of the single drivers that were in the old ones.
nice.
Now it has a subwoofer and a tweeter inside instead of just a speaker.
I mean, if you want to upgrade and then sell your originals, you can do that.
Yeah,
too.
you can do that too.
Which is what you're gonna do, right?
Yeah. I'm actually my old ones are going to Kenyatta for now, so he doesn't sound terrible when he's
Oh yeah.
In the Discord.
oh, yeah, in the Discord. But yeah. I don't
Alright.
know. I like them a lot.
Sounds good to me. And we got another piece of news for the from that particular presentation, but we'll talk about it later in the news blast. All right, we're moving on to the payload, which isn't going to be as long as you might think it is. We're just got a lot of information to cover real quickly. So,
Where are we dropping the payload today?
indeed, we're
Yeah, serious.
we got a
Back,
big
back.
story. Okay, I'm gonna want to watch that later.
Fake folding glass.
We got a big story coming out of Bloomberg, of all places, which is interesting because I don't really see anything very much gaming out of them. Sony is struggling with the price of the PlayStation 5 due to costly parts and may wait to announce the price after Xbox does for their console,
Bunch of bitches.
as well as a new PSVR headset planned after the PS5 launch. So there's are three things there. So this big article comes from Takashi Mochizuki
6ix9ine.
at at Bloomberg. So I'm just gonna run through all this stuff and see if we have anything to discuss about it. Right?
All right.
So there's a lot of information here. Sony typically solidifies the price of a console in February and begins mass production in the spring, but that appears to be different this time around. According to sources with knowledge of what's going on in PlayStation, the manufacturing costs for the console have been pushed to about $450 per unit for Sony. So this is how much it costs for them to manufacture the PS5. That's before costs for things like packaging, shipping, wholesale, and retail costs, as well as other things. I'm hearing that the Xbox Series X build cost is a little bit higher than that, actually, though that's not as concrete. For context, the PS4, launched in 2013 for $399, reportedly cost $381 to manufacture. So that's a pretty close price there. The PS5 would have to launch for at least $470 to comfortably cover its costs. I'll jump to this real quickly. So consoles are often sold at a loss or break even in the beginning of their generation.
Yes.
Because it's expensive to manufacture this technology, and you got to charge the right price for it.
Yeah.
But they make money off of sales on games, digital sales especially, and now very much growing service sales like Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Now, being very important in 2020. So here's the problem. It sounds like the biggest headache is, quote, ensuring reliable supply of DRAM and NAND flash memory, unquote. So for those who don't know what that is, DRAM is RAM. You put, for your CPU, it stands for dynamic RAM. So that's like the actual chip that goes on the board. And then NAND is the chips that goes onto storage. So that's for SSDs, which is also going to be in the console. And these are both in high demand right now due to several phone manufacturers working on their new 5G phone launches, like the S20 that I just talked about. Sony already had to cancel planned features for a new mirrorless camera due to the DRAM shortages.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It's big yikes.
So yeah, and then it says here, oh yeah, this is another big thing. All the components of the console have been locked in, including the cooling system, which is usually unusually expensive at a few dollars per unit. The cooling system in the console is usually less than $1 per unit. But Sony wanted to, quote, lavish more on making sure heat dissipation from the console for the powerful chips housed inside the console isn't an issue, unquote.
Bless you.
Ouch.
So they don't want to turn your PS5 into a fucking meteor.
Yeah, they don't want it to be they don't want it to sound like a jet engine, and they also don't want it to be like an Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death situation.
Sure.
Many of the new PS5 games will also be available on the PS4, we're hearing. So it sounds like at least at launch, you'll have a lot of games that come out for both consoles from Sony. I would imagine they're talking about from Sony. And then on top of that, the last thing I want to mention is that the coronavirus has had no impact on production as of yet, according to the sources. So,
Okay.
That's
so
good at
not
least.
yet, at least. There hasn't been any impact.
All right.
So that's a lot of stuff there. So the console is probably going to launch at $500. I'm fairly certain at this
Yeah.
point that it's not. Well, first of all, that means it's not going to be $400. If you ever thought that that was possible,
No,
it's
no.
fairly obvious at this point that's not going to be the case unless they really eat if they really eat on the cost of the console,
Yeah.
which they could do if they really want to one up their competitor, or if somehow Xbox comes out at $400, they can meet their competitor.
Now, what I would say is, if they really wanted to, I would say maybe like if you get a PS5, like the first week after it launches, it's $400. After that, $500.
That'd be
If
interesting.
they wanted to
Yeah,
do
like-
that,
That would be interesting.
because that would
Yeah.
push people to obviously buy the. Like, I have to get it in this week.
And
Have
it's
to.
and it's close to the holidays too, so it could be like they could brand it as a holiday
That's
sale
good
type
idea.
thing.
That's a weird. Ooh, sounds spicy.
Like a month
Yeah.
or something.
The month
But-
of December,
Yeah,
PS5
something like
is 400 or whatever it is. If the console's like 450,
That'd be interesting if they really launched it at $100 cheaper temporarily.
yeah.
It could happen.
I also wonder if just all the companies' profits play into this too. So like, you know how Microsoft, obviously a big company, and so is Sony, and both these companies do a wide range of things. We know that PS4 is a huge part of Sony's company, whereas Xbox is a smaller portion
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
their
for sure.
company. So I wonder if that plays into their decision of cost.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Sony can't. That's why Sony can't be too risky about it. Because
Yeah.
if they make a mistake, then it's gonna hit them. It's gonna have a bigger impact to them rather than it
Yeah.
would to Microsoft with the
That's
Series
true.
X.
But at the same time, Sony is doing well financially, I'm sure, because they sold over 108 million PS4s as of right now, and I'm sure they've made millions and millions of dollars on games.
Yeah, so I'm sure.
Of course.
I'm sure it's a bit of a mix of what you two are saying, where it's like they can risk it, but not too much.
So this is what I'm thinking is. What I'm thinking is they want to wait because if Xbox comes out at $500, I think Sony would be fine at saying, all right, $500.
Yeah.
We're matching even. But I feel like if Xbox decides we want to eat on the price and do like $450 or $400, then Sony doesn't want to be out of place. So they want to be like,
course.
okay, we need to react to that. So, though it's funny because Microsoft could be in the same boat. They need DRAM and NAND. They
Yeah.
need those things as well. So unless they have a different supplier or they found a different way to get it or they have maybe more priority with one of the manufacturers or something, they should be running into a similar problem at some point.
And we also have to remember what Phil Spencer said about them promising that they won't be behind in power.
Yeah, they said we
and
will
price.
not be out of, not just behind, we will not be out of place on
Place,
power or price and performance
Yes.
this generation.
That was the quote, yeah. So
That is the quote that he said. So that means
It's interesting.
Yeah, what that means to me is they won't be at $600. I don't think they will.
it's turned
No.
into a game
And
of chicken.
then they will be a good console at launch.
Yeah.
We already know that console has a good cooling system too. I mean, the Xbox One X has a really good cooling system with the vapor chamber cooling, which is not really found on other consoles. But and then you have, but we know now that and we have an idea of what it might be like with that prototype where it might pull air in from the back and then out the top and just be like a giant exhaust that
Yeah.
way.
And people melt it like a candle because they'll put books and stuff on top of it. 'cause why not?
Facts.
Oh, jeez.
Like you said, it'll just go like that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
like a candle.
I'd need to go back and look at it, but I'm pretty sure that I said that the console's gonna stay at like $450, $500, somewhere in that range regarding to the PS5.
I think
I was right, bitch.
$500 is just the sweet spot. I just hope that that's what it is. I would,
I would say it's what we're used to.
if we're watching one of these conferences and one of them comes out for $400, I would shit my pants.
Yeah,
If it comes out
crazy.
for $450, I'd probably still shit my pants. Because that's just crazy.
I don't think it would.
Especially just considering how much power is in these things.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, this is supposed to be, from just generally what I'm thinking, the Xbox Series X, for example, is supposed to be like, it's supposed to be like an RTX 2070 level of power in graphics on top of a good CPU and 16 gigs of RAM and a Blu-ray drive and super fast SSD, all in that little box, a little cube, a little refrigerator.
The monolithic tower.
Yeah, and if it were to cost $400, that'd be absurd.
Yeah.
So I think it's becoming more and more apparent that $500 is going to be the price point, unless something makes this worse and they have to go higher, which I hope is not the case.
Yeah. Like I actually kind of recommended that Nintendo did that with the Switch. If the Switch were any more, were like $400 or $500, where it's like, you know, first week after it launches, make it like reduce the price, but then after that week, just raise the price to what you were going to.
Yeah. You could do that. I think if the Switch launches at $400, it'd be a failure right now.
Yeah.
I don't think they could have done that.
$300 was like,
that was the right spot.
of course you have the idiots that are just like, see, this is what all game companies should do, and it's like, no.
I'm curious how much that costs to manufacture. We also aren't even accounting for the fact that they spent money on R&D that's probably not factored into the manufacturing cost.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What's R&D?
Research and development, like the actual
Them
designing of the
actually
console,
designing,
like how much money they spent on both resources and the employees, paying the employees' salaries to figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
They have to make money back on that investment.
Before we move on, a bit of a did you know type thing.
Mm-hmm.
The the whole thing that connects the Joy-Cons to the Switch itself. Originally, they were thinking of making them magnets instead of what they are now, but then they realized that is a very bad idea.
Yeah, like that's a bit muddy. That wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
Like it'd be cool.
Like that went with the.
But it
track.
also wouldn't. They wouldn't have called it the Switch. They wouldn't. You wouldn't have the click. You would have the click.
That also that was also a big part of why they didn't.
Yeah.
They would just call it the.
Yo.
Gee.
Call it the.
I think the worst part about it is one, we weren't expecting you
Call
to
it
make
the-
that noise, and two, that was probably the best sounding one you've done in a while.
Oh sure.
Oh, I hate you. Don't ever forget that.
I have some shit to show you guys before you leave.
Oh god.
Oh no. All right. Anyway.
Oh, I know what he's talking about. Oh no. All right, number 2. I just wanted to throw this in there since we're talking about the consoles and how they're doing. I wanted to throw this information in there.
We've got 2 payloads for you guys today. We're gonna go Hiroshima and Nagasaki on your asses. 2 bombs at the same time.
You will not be able to have children anymore.
What is happening?
Or inhabit
Where
where
do we
you
go? Where did how?
You will also not be able to inhabit the location you are currently listening to this podcast at.
I have no idea what's it. Okay, go.
So the U.S. NPD report came out this week for the month of January, which is that's all the data how we know how many games are selling this month and stuff like that.
Yes.
So this report talks about how the PS4 and the Xbox One hardware sales in January 2020 are considerably lower than the PS3 and 360 sales were in January of 2013.
Oh.
So that's interesting. That means next-gen consoles being around the corner, but both are declining sharper than they did last time. And last time's generation felt a little bit more like a drag than this one.
Yeah.
So
Could that have anything to do with PC? Like the gaming space, like the PC gaming
Maybe.
space growing to what it is
I
now.
can see that. Yeah.
it's possible. It also is important to note that the Switch is the best-selling console of January and continues to
That makes
remain
sense,
steady. So that's probably taking up some of the sales.
That makes complete
Because
sense.
at last time, the Wii U was definitely not taking up that spot.
Yeah.
Geez. And then there's another thing here. This also says he put in this is Daniel Ahmad, the great Twitter person. It's a combination of multiple factors. PS4 and Xbox One have both held at current price points for a number of years. Impact of early announcements for PS5, Xbox Series X with backwards compatibility. That's probably part of it. We didn't know about backwards compatibility back then, and it never came, except for on Xbox, like a few years later. Shift to HD gaming across multiple devices, and then key delays in key titles that were planned for 2020 that are now coming out later in the year or next year, etc. That's what he says. He says that. And then on top of that, what's the thing I had here? This is a perfect time. NPD also revealed that the Xbox Elite Series 2 wireless controller was the best-selling video game accessory for its third consecutive month and is now the fifth fastest-selling video game accessory in U.S. history.
What was it?
Wow. The Xbox Elite Controller Series 2 that Yeah.
The new Elite controller from Xbox is.
that thing clean.
You want to see it?
Yeah, apparently High caught himself.
I just
one.
got myself one. I got it on Amazon Warehouse, like new condition.
This nigga had it
Okay.
ready.
So I was able to get it, and it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine.
Sake.
So I got one. It came yesterday. I was trying it out earlier.
That feels good.
Feels even better than it feels even better than the first one
Yeah.
for sure.
That feels good.
I like the way
Oh.
it feels in the meat of my palm.
The meat.
So quick showcase. So yeah, hand that back over here.
And we can charge with the case, I remember.
It smells like quality,
So
and I could kill someone with that.
it's similar to
Yes, sir.
it's similar in style to the original,
Which is behind Trey, if you wanna
main,
grab that
the
one.
main differences here
By the way.
are
no.
it feels a little bit more compact. The material on the outside is completely different from the original.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the material. I like that material.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one's definitely better.
Remember, that's from like 2015.
Yeah.
The
smells like ham.
The paddles are smaller.
You're welcome.
The paddles are smaller,
Yeah.
which Nico I think
Less
has off on that
intrusive.
right now.
Yeah, I took the paddles.
It has 3 steps of a hair trigger instead of 2.
Yeah.
You got up to 3 profiles instead of 2. It's got Type C. It's got a built-in built-in battery, built-in rechargeable battery. It's got grips on the triggers, which is a new addition to a lot of Xbox
sir.
controllers.
I have to get used to the bulkiness again, but
And then you have your removable pieces. So different from the original series, the Elite Series 1, I should say. It comes with instead these 2 small flatter ones that you can put on that are like kind of close to like 360 pieces. It comes with 1 tall thumbstick and 1 domed thumbstick.
Yeah.
Unlike the other one, which came with 2 short, 2 tall, 2 domed. You have a little more options. It also comes with the standard D-pad that you can put on, and then it comes with a this is a key for messing with stuff in I forget what that's for.
These.
no shoes in my house.
And then on top of that, it comes with the case. It comes with a charging dock in the case, which magnetizes in the case if you want to keep it in the case. There's a hole to actually plug in the Type C cable and charge it while it's in the case. So yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. I got it for Amazon Warehouse like new. It was only $131.
Really?
It's normally $180.
I have $2,000. I can,
Chill out, chill out.
See, I have so
chill
much
out.
money.
Calm
Just out of
down.
curiosity, can you put these pieces on that controller? Probably.
I would imagine so.
You can try it.
Yeah. Hand it over.
While you're doing that, let's hop over to the...
I would imagine so.
To the
I
news
think
blast.
it's just the same thing.
First up on the news blast.
Twice as
We're
big
going
today.
We're going through it.
We're moving.
Because of the double bomb.
The double bomb. Payday 2
Oh.
is still...
I forgot. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Doesn't really work, no.
No, it doesn't work. Okay.
No, it
Well,
doesn't.
going back to actually what we were just talking about with the Xbox Elite Series 2 wireless controller being the best selling video game accessory for the third consecutive month, and now is the fifth
I
fastest
hear you,
selling
buddy.
video game accessory in US history.
Yeah, you didn't... Sure.
The rest of the list, that controller is
curious.
the fifth. In fourth place, in the first, so this is the first 3 months of the product being in the market.
Oh, okay.
Fourth place is the Wii Remote with Motion Plus bundle pack
That makes sense.
Yeah.
for Wii Sports Resort. Number 3 is just the PS4 DualShock 4 black,
Oh,
just
wow.
a normal
okay.
controller.
Weird.
Second place is the 360 Connect with Connect Adventures, Fruit Ninja, and Gunslinger. And then
I'm gonna see that.
Yeah, because people were really hype on the Kinect when it first came out, and then they realized it was that good.
And,
It was
and
garbage.
number 1 is also the Connect, but just the Connect Adventures bundle.
Wow. That's sold more than the Wiimote with
yeah, that's
Motion
crazy.
Plus?
Yeah, the Connects were actually
And
crazy.
somehow the DualShock 4 by itself is in there
Yeah.
too. That's interesting.
That's actually insane.
That's very interesting.
As I was saying, Payday 2 is still making millions of dollars after 6 years 6 years after release, 6+ years after release.
I've never met a single person that plays that game.
and a
have it.
sequel has been teased.
So yeah, things are coming. Things are moving over there. 6+ years. It's still making millions of dollars a year.
I got
Bag.
it for free on Steam like 3 years ago, and I haven't touched it.
Apparently, it was last year. It went. I think we talked about this. It went back into active development.
Oh.
So that's why it's like starting to make money. And they need it over there because Starbreeze, which I believe is their publisher, is not doing well financially right now.
Do you want just me? You just trade off, go back.
Sure.
And forth?
Next thing is what I mentioned earlier. Samsung and Xbox have partnered up for cloud gaming, and Forza Street will release on PC, which released on PC last year, is coming to mobile devices soon.
Good old cloud gaming.
So yeah, they're partnering up for cloud gaming. We're not exactly sure what that means yet. They did mention Xbox xCloud. I imagine that means they're going to do some sort of behind the scenes collaboration, and then the Xbox xCloud app will be on the Galaxy Store as well as the Google Play Store, which is the same case with Forza Street.
What?
For those who don't know, if an app is on the Galaxy Store, I think it's more tuned for Galaxy devices, so you might want to download it that way. Though some of them aren't as good. There's some apps on there that are like kind of released and left behind. But I try to download Galaxy versions when I can.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'll do this next one if you want.
All right, go ahead.
No.
The Need for Speed series is returning to Burnout developer
Criterion.
Criterion
I was
Games.
I was using my time when he was doing that to figure out how to pronounce that.
Yeah,
Criterion Games, after being handled by Ghost Games for the last 4 releases. Criterion Games previously worked on Need for Speed Hot Pursuit and Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Hey.
Which is good because
They
Need for
ma-
Speed Most Wanted was so good.
As I was saying, the article I was reading was saying that Criterion Games has worked on arguably the two best Need for Speed games that there is. So bringing it back to their hands is good.
Yes.
Do you remember the mission where you were like you just drive up? I think this is like in the middle of the map or some crap like
You
that.
think what I'm thinking?
And there's literally just a pyramid of cop
Yeah.
cars.
There's just
And your car's like, what the fuck? And they start driving and you're like, shit.
you don't run from them. Exactly.
There was a
It's
tornado
rid-
of cop cars. I'm
ridiculous.
like, I don't know what's happening in this game, but I love it.
So yeah, I mean, this comes after Need for Speed Heat just came out somewhat recently to no fanfare, really.
Yeah.
No one's really talking about it. It's from the Metacritic score sounds, it's like it's fairly good, but it no one really seems to care.
Yeah,
I've
I've heard nothing about like the past few Need for Speed games.
Yeah, after the first reboot and then Payback, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
All right.
That one was actually bad, apparently.
Oh,
Number 4, the solo developer Eric Boroni.
Barone.
brownie.
I think you overpronounced that, my friend.
Oops, sorry.
It's not Japanese.
I'm so sorry.
Nerd.
Behind Stardew Valley, which has sold over 20 million. I was about to say 2 copies. Is working on 2 new projects. One that takes place in the world of Stardew Valley, not a farming game though, and one that takes that will tie into Stardew Valley in some way.
Now, okay,
This is as he puts it, by the way.
hear me out. What if? And I know very little about Stardew Valley. All I know is it has great pixel art. I like it.
Yes, it does.
It's not my type of game.
Yes.
What if it's called Stardust Valley, and it takes place well after, like after that whole, I guess, like community or that area has like withered down, people have abandoned it, and your job is to pretty much
Revitalize it.
revitalize it again.
So
I mean, it's not a farming game, he says, so it'd be something a little bit different then.
it's not technically a farming game. It's like high stakes Animal Crossing.
High stakes Animal Crossing.
What does that even mean?
I mean, the only reason why that would make sense is because that's kind of the premise of the first game, but not the whole town. It's more so about your grandfather's farm or whatever it is, and also the community center in the town.
Yeah,
you mentioned.
you revive the community center by completing challenges.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
missions.
so it's kind of already the premise. So yeah,
Stakes.
he said the
What's the problem?
He said the second one that will tie into Stardew Valley in some way. He's not 100% sure on the world yet.
Yeah.
But he mentioned that, so I don't know what that means. But
Yo,
it might
could
just
you-
mean it might just mean they have like references back and forth.
Yo, could you imagine we're gonna play one game of poker? And if you do, you have to do even more of my chores.
Oh my god.
Blast.
Fan favorite Call of Duty map Rust is back.
Back.
It has been
To the
added
back.
to 2019's Modern Warfare in its Season 2 update this past week.
Sick.
And you can play it now.
Nice.
By the way,
Now-
all new maps and weapons are free in this game.
They're gonna have to make 1v1s like a freaking game mode now. Cause what was it?
Definitely.
1v1 intervention, quick scopes only, Rust.
I hate that shit.
Or like you would do trick shots where you go to the center of the map. Now that the map's big, go up that little like
Structure.
the structure, the very tall ladder, and you jump off of it. You spin as many times as you can. You try to get a quick scope.
Yep.
Shit's stupid, man. But it's back. You know, I'm really feeling tempted to buy Modern Warfare now
Same.
because it looks fun. I see our friend Kevin has it. So it's like,
Does it have crossplay?
yeah, it has crossplay. That's the best part. So you can buy it wherever you feel comfortable playing it, and we can all play together.
I might actually get
So
it
if you
next
want to
week,
get it on
to be honest.
PS4, for example, and I got it on PC, and you got it on Xbox, now you wouldn't do that. You'd get it on PC, but like you could do that. We could all play together. That'd be really cool.
I actually might do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I think it might be on sale.
Okay. Next.
Who wants to take the next one?
Me. Ubisoft revealed a surprise Division 2 expansion called
There's a D there. It shouldn't be there.
Warlords of New York that is designed to revive the game. Will cost $30 and will take the game to downtown Manhattan from Wall Street to Chinatown.
Well, you know, I like One Piece, so I'm all about being a warlord.
That's not the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, so they
watched
announced a
One
new expansion for Division 2. They're bringing it. They're trying to bring the game. They haven't really released much content recently, and fans have been frustrated. But they were finally able to reveal what they were working on, and they got this big expansion coming out. So if you're interested in the Division 2, check it out. The Division 2, I don't know if it still is. It was available for $3 the other day.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, all right, I bought it.
Is the game doing bad?
Huh?
It's not doing bad, is it?
It's just
all
nobody's.
I think it's just kind of like on a low point right now
Yeah.
because I think there
Okay.
haven't been much content recently. But I guess because they're selling the new DLC for $30, they can kind of charge their $3 for the base game temporarily as like get people in the door now so they can play the main story and then play the DLC when it comes out.
Yes, sir.
I'll play it at some point. I eventually went through and played the original Division, and I enjoyed my time with that. This is supposed to be better, so yeah.
Moving on.
All right. The developer Quantic Dream has announced its announced on its 23rd anniversary. There we go. That it has undergone a transformation and will self-publish its own games going forward. It will also invest in the help of other studios develop their games. Yeah.
Yep.
What games have they made?
They're the guys who made Detroit Become Human, Beyond Two Souls, Heavy
Beyond Two
Rain.
Movies. All right.
Right.
Yeah,
Sick.
so they're gonna make their own games from now on. No more publishing partners.
Nice.
Similar to actually what Platinum's been doing. Platinum's trying to go self-publishing too, and they're gonna help other people help make their games as well.
I can't wait
Next.
to see what they're gonna do next.
We'll see. We shall see. Devil May Cry 5 has now sold over 3.1 million copies, making it one of the best-selling games in the franchise.
Nice.
Nice.
That's it.
I mean, there's
it. That's all there is.
there's nothing else to say. Really good game. I saw it sped ran. Holy crap, that game's cool.
Cool.
All right.
The famous Nintendo PlayStation prototype from the failed collaboration between the two companies that unearthed a few years back is up for auction.
There's more information there.
Wait,
Yeah. Go
The
down.
starting bid was $31,000, but the current bid was $48,000 as of February 13th. The auction ends on February 27th. So if you've got a few thousand sitting around and you want
Just a few buckets, you know.
Freaking buckets.
you want to try to get that thing, go for it.
Oh.
wait.
This is a perfect one for me.
Wait, real quick. You said
Yes, it is.
the console that never came out between Nintendo and Sony.
Yes.
I thought.
there's a prototype. Remember we talked?
Yeah, I know.
I think we talked about it on the stream back then.
I thought it was in
I
a
think we might have mentioned it.
I thought it
once
was in a
even on
museum.
I don't think
Well,
so.
now it's on
I don't think so.
for auction. So
Things don't stay in museums once they're there. Some stuff leaves eventually. Sometimes.
That depends on the museum.
Yes.
I don't think it was in a museum. You have to look that up.
That was a big turning point in gaming history, though.
I don't know who's buying it. It could be a museum.
From what I remember, the PlayStation would not be PlayStation, or at least not as early, if it weren't for that thing failing.
Yeah. Well, I think it looks like it would have been like Sony's branding on it if it had come out, based on the pictures we have of it.
From what I remember hearing, Nintendo was not, at least like the head of Nintendo at that point was like, they were actually afraid of Sony. They were like, we don't want these guys becoming like their own thing. So they had to. So I guess they wanted to keep them under control, and Sony was like, we want to make games.
we want to make games.
Put our logo on this, and they're like, no. They're like, all right, I guess we don't have a deal. Now introducing the PlayStation.
And the funny
And
thing is
Nintendo-
that console was supposed to use CD-ROMs too,
Yes.
which the PlayStation 1 ended up using a generation later.
I think to this day, one of some of the higher ups at Nintendo still regret not making that console because they admit Sony is a threat to them, just like Microsoft is.
Yep.
all right, so this one's a perfect one for me. Half-Life Alex is coming March 23rd, my birthday,
Good old Alex.
and I don't have VR, so sadness. You can still
my
pre-order
birthday.
it
I
for
can't play.
10% off though,
Yes.
so that's
Yeah, so
fun.
we knew-
I did get it. I got it for $54.
I
not
did
the
it.
full 60.
We knew it was
For the
coming in
TV.
March. Now we have a date. That's what this is about.
Sure.
You get
Second to last thing, Google Stadia is rolling out 4K support for browsers, previously only available through Chromecast Ultra, though Stadia has been criticized for not rendering games in 4K natively in the past. So this might only mean so much to you, because apparently they don't render the games in 4K properly all the time.
Nice.
But you can do it in your browser now.
So to all of you fools.
So which means when you have a 4K monitor, you can use it on your computer or on your laptop.
This was the correct order for doing this, because all of these pertain to whoever's reading.
It's kind of true. Assassin's Creed Syndicate and Feria
You're the
will
Assassin's
be
Creed guy.
free on the Epic Game Store from February 20th to the 27th. Kingdom Come Deliverance and Aztec are currently free.
Nasty.
Just
Yeah, I
in
don't
case you
think.
wanted to know.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have the reviewers won't have a chance to pick those up per our recommendation in time, but the new ones you will. So yeah, check out. I mean, Assassin's Creed Syndicate I've heard is pretty good. It's actually overshadowed by the fact that Unity was a disaster. This is the game between Unity and Origins. So
yeah.
like this is like the game before their rebirth, the Assassin's Creed Rebirth. But it's actually supposed to be a pretty good game, so check it out.
It's
I mean, you can get it for free, so why the hell not?
if I remember correctly, the ratings for Syndicate are a bit better than Unity.
Yeah.
So
And I don't know what Feria is, so
I don't know what that is either. Actually,
it's an indie game. So check it out, I guess. See what it's like. It's free.
Let us know in the comments
Sure.
how it is.
Or don't.
Oh, that's been a good. It's been a podcast, you know.
It's been a podcast, so we've had a time.
This is definitely a podcast that we did today.
yes, sir.
Yes, that's gonna be it for the Market Podcast. That's gonna be episode 18. Thanks everyone for watching. Remember to give us a like on the video if you enjoyed yourself, and comment. We want to hear y'all's opinions on today's topics. Subscribe if you want to see more, and don't forget, if some of you bozos are sitting there wishing you could listen to the show while you're doing your homework or whatever y'all get into, look no further. We're on a number of podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Castbox, etc. All links are down in the description below. Same goes for you audio listeners. If there's anything you wanted to see from the episode, hop over to the YouTube at Black Market Gaming. Show you some. I can't speak apparently. Show your boy some love, some lure. We're getting out of here.
And just remember, if you're not watching us, especially on YouTube, I'm gonna cut off your finger, kill you, and then use your fingernail to scratch records at your funeral.
That one got really dark.
Holy shit!
Dag.
All right.
During your moment of silence.
Dag. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. See you next week
See ya.
Die.
in IKEA.
No.